the desert, we are used to seeing these loud flamingos as yard ornaments. But here at the Wildlife World Zoo and Aquarium, they are among more than 6,000 animals they have here. It's Arizona's largest collection of exotic animals.
From the exotic to the endangered, from the feathered to the furry, and from the shy to the sly. The Wildlife World Zoo and Aquarium in Litchfield Park is home to more than 600 different species.
We have about 6,000 individual animals here. It's a huge collection. It's probably one of the top 20, 25 collections of exotic animals in the United States.
Mickey Olson is not only the director and founder of the Wildlife World Zoo and Aquarium, he owns it.
This is my project. We started here back in 1984 when the zoo first opened. So we have our 28th anniversary coming up. It's my passion. I've been dedicated to it for all these years. When I was a kid and I was growing up, my parents would say, "What do you want for Christmas or your birthday?" And I'd always say, "Anything alive."
Mickey's pet project began taking flight long before his zoo ever even broke ground.
I was raising exotic birds for other collections and other zoos, and so I bought this property with the idea of raising more birds, and I had traded some birds for some kangaroos and for some deer and things like that.
Mickey's passion got the better of him, and he soon had a collection worthy of attracting visitors.
Having lived my entire adult life in the West Valley, I thought this was a perfect spot. Most attractions, especially back in the 80s, were in the East Valley. That's changed drastically in the last 20 years because the West Valley has really blossomed.
And so has his zoo. They added Arizona's first and only public aquarium, which now has nearly 100 exhibits. And the park draws more than 400,000 visitors every year, many of them students.
Today we have probably 800-900 school kids coming through the zoo and aquarium, so as a former teacher, it's really a pleasure for me to be able to see these kids coming through. They're learning appreciation for nature, for wild places and wild things, and they're having a good time.
And at 95 acres and growing, Wildlife World continues to introduce Arizona to new exhibits, like the sea lions, who made their debut on the day of our visit.
We're excited about the sea lions. Plans for those started almost 10 years ago.
Andy and Paris are the only marine mammals on display in the state. They join the 90-plus aquatic exhibits at Wildlife, including sharks, stingrays, otters, and albino alligators. And that's not all. Mickey is still planning on making another splash. He's going to add a safari park that'll be home to a new lion exhibit and several new species, including cheetahs.
We are really proud to say, being a privately owned zoo and aquarium, we're probably one of the most successful. We hoped it would be. In the first 8 or 10 years, of course, we were very, very remote. We're still rather remote, but the West Valley has grown so fast. We're really perfectly situated for moving into the future.